So there's two things that I want to mention as you were saying that. I've been in the space for a while, but I'm also addicted to TikTok. So like every night when I'm in bed, I love it. I have to. I get into bed at night and I'm like, how long are we going to be on this tonight? Is it an hour? Is it 3 hours? Who knows where this is
until you hit that little auto scroll button and it's just going.
So sometimes I fall asleep.
So while you're on there, what do you think is the average screen time in South Africa for a normal consumer? On average, what do you think the average person is spending on the platform?
So I don't want to say this because I'm going to embarrass myself, right? Because I have an idea of how much time I spend on screen. I am chronically online,
right?
So I might be not your average, and the medium might be a bit skewed,
right?
But I would say, I don't want to say this, 6 hours, 7 hours, is that too much? Is that too little? Where am I? Welcome back to another episode of Good Things with myself, Brent Lindeque, the Good Things guy. You know I get excited with all my guests that I get to put into the hot seat. Today I've got Chae and Reece from Ace Labs, and they're going to give us some lessons in social media, AI, meta something. There was something that was written down. I don't even know what it is. Yeah. I don't even know what it is. But that's why you're here. You're going to teach us all about it. Their company is global. So born here in South Africa, I would imagine. Proudly South African. But they're doing great things around the globe. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
It's so great for you to be here.
Good to be in Joburg.
I do apologize about the Nando's smell. If we do get hungry,
it's probably one of the best smells we've had walking into a room.
So we are sponsored by Nando's, and that's why it smells like Nando's. Can you maybe tell us, whoever wants to take this question, but a little bit more about Ace Labs and the work that you do?
Sure. We are a new age digital agency. The business has grown from what we originally started doing, but essentially we service creators as well as brands with their full digital strat, their full creative. So from your ideation, your data, your research, we data led, so that's a key component of our business. Then we go into creator campaigns, digital media, social media, your strategy, looking at that, and then obviously interactive amplification, so AR, VR, your AI, blockchain technology, and we look at how we actually bring value to the business based on the campaign or where they are as a brand or creator. And the key thing is we build businesses around creators. So we're pretty much in the back end, we're the pipes, we're the engine, and we let everybody else.
I know that's a big thing internationally, right? Yeah. So when we see celebrities or influencers or creators that are creating content, we might have an idea that there's a team behind them, but we follow them and we like this content. It's really, really lekker.
Yeah.
How prevalent is that in South Africa that creators might use a company like Ace Labs to really come up with the ideation and then the execution of their content?
I think, you want to take this one?
I think it's something that we're trying to spearhead here. I think it's a lot of the time creators get to a point where they need extra and they need more, and it's just to look into that more. So our jobs is to look external, bring it back here, whether it's for a brand or creator, or an agency. So we do service a lot of agencies in terms of consulting and guiding them in their campaigns where they need to be. But I think there are a few creators that do, especially that we work with. Yeah. And we like to amplify. For us, it's amplify, impact, growth. So more and more, it's becoming more prevalent.
It's definitely picking up a lot more. And I think for us, it's flipping the script, because traditionally you'll have agency take 80% and creator take 20%.
Yes.
And for us, it's flipping that script for the creator or to take 80% and the agency to be the 20%. So it's an unconventional model.
But it's the right model. It's the right model.
That's at least what we believe.
Yes.
For sustainability for the creator as well, So it's frowned upon a little bit in the industry, because we're taking money off the table from agency side.
Yeah.
But we believe that this is the way to go for sustainability.
Absolutely. And if you look at it from a business model, remove the agency for a second. It's fantastic to have agencies, because 100%. They do usually come up with the ideas, and then it's that implementation. But the product at the end of the day is the creator, right? That's the person that's face there in the screens. That's who we're looking at. That's why we're buying the things.
Right.
When it comes to being a creator as a job, I mean, that's everybody's dream job, right?
Is it?
I can imagine so.
I don't want it.
You don't want it?
I don't want it. I mean, I just getting to see the behind the scenes of Nadia's life. It's crazy. Always on. You have to be on all the time. There is no breaks from when you're filming to when you are in public.
Yeah.
People see you as that person all the time. So, especially for me that shies away from the camera generally, it's quite a thing going. I'd actually prefer my job.
To be in the back end.
It seems fun. It is fun, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of what more can you do? What's next? It's such a difficult thing. Just to be a creator, and I always take my hat off to those that quit their jobs firstly, because that's a big step. Not knowing that you're going to get a brand deal, not knowing how to work with the brand, and it gets quite tricky. And that's where we have something like the Creator Club and our master classes where we train those that come into the industry, because nobody knows how to work with the brand, or am I charging too much, too little, contractually, what should I be looking for? So that's kind of where we come in from the back end.
So there's two things that I want to mention as you were saying that. I've been in the space for a while. But I'm also addicted to TikTok. So like every night when I'm in bed, I love it. I have to. I get into bed at night and I'm like, how long are we going to be on this tonight? Is it an hour? Is it 3 hours? Who knows where this is
until
going
you
to
hit
go?
the little auto scroll button and it's just going.
So sometimes I fall asleep.
So while you're on there, what do you think is the average screen time in South Africa for a normal consumer? On average, what do you think the average person is spending on the platform?
So I don't want to say this because I'm going to embarrass myself, right? Because I have an idea of how much time I spend on screen. I am chronically online,
right?
So I might be not your average, and the medium might be a bit skewed,
right?
But I would say, I don't want to say this, 6 hours, 7 hours, is that too much? Is that too little? Where am I?
On your phone, I think
on the phone as a whole, I think on platform we're looking at 1 hour and 49 minutes.
That's TikTok specifically.
On TikTok specifically per day, on average for your average.
Yeah, my voice is there.
Really? But on the higher end, that is the norm. So they can spend up to 14 hours on the platform.
Yeah, no, and it's crazy. I mean, you're looking at opening the app 9 times a day on average. Globally, we're looking at between 12 and 15 times.
I don't feel so bad anymore.
So,
my once a day and the end of the day of the night, then I don't feel so bad.
And again, if you look at China, we just came back from China and Hong Kong, and the tension is here all the time.
Yeah.
Whether you're on a scooter, you're walking to catch an Uber, whatever it is, it's the tension is there consistently. Hence lives and things like that. So there's quite a bit of psychology.
So you're
going
opening
into
up a whole other can of worms here. I want to get into those two things first, and then I'm going to get into my next thing if I can remember it. So let's see what a good host I am. So the first two things I wanted to say is I watched TikToks recently with South African creators. And this ties back to what you were saying about your creator hub and sort of teaching people. But the first is there was a creator that went on to TikTok, and she spoke very candidly about the fact that she had left her job, and she was now trying to do this full time, but she was playing catch up because the brands weren't paying. So she would do a video, and then it would go into edits, and then it would go like back and forth, and then you're 3 months down the line that you've been kicking this can, you've done 4 or 5 campaigns, but because of the process, we're not seeing the money come in. So that's the first thing that I wanted to mention that we can sort of get to. And the second thing was the amount that you need to charge. I watched a TikTok last night, so this is very fresh in my memory, where there was a South African creator that said, we don't share our rates like with other creators, because I don't want people to know what I'm trying. And I think that's wrong. I think the more that we share, the better it is for an industry as a whole. Because then there's some sort of standard, right?
For sure. So to unpack the first one, I think that is a normal, common problem that a lot of them don't know when they're starting out in the space. They'll jump into a 60-day account or a 90-day account not knowing when they are actually going to get paid. And remember that is 60 days, or 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days, sometimes even 120 days from invoice. So I might have, as the creator, started the job, shot the content, edited it, submitted, and then if I'm only going to submit that invoice a month later, it's from that date that it's 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days. So again, if you're not under agency, or you don't have agency support, you're not going to know that generally unless you have industry support.
As well as the tax implications as a freelancer as well.
Yes.
Unless you structure the business and understanding that 25% you're liable for, or to take it off. It just depends on how it works.
I'm sure there's people listening to this and watching this that have just gone cold.
Yeah.
They were like, I wanted to be a creator.
No, and that's the thing. So for us, it's about the reality of, yes, you can do really well. Yes, it can be really good for you. But at the same time, understand that it still is a business. You still have, I think, somebody in the team mentioned the other day that SARS want you to, if brands give you product,
trade exchange,
they want you to say that you've gotten product as well as part of.
Tax you on that.
So and that's the thing. So there's quite a bit of things that we're doing we're trying to implement from our end in terms of tech and building platforms where payments happen based on certain things, certain milestones, and that happens automatically. But generally, market uptake to that depends on brand and corporate. But that, again, is our job to enforce those things and put those things into play and to get people to understand that, yes, we're a creative agency that works with creators, but at the same time, we've also got a mandate to go, cool, this is what's right, this is what's wrong on either side. So our contracts, we sit very heavily with brands and go, cool, you can't do that to a creator. You can't own their content outright without paying for it, because we won't do it. So there's a lot of times that we don't take a client because of just ethics, and that for it needs to be morally correct, because at the end of the day, one of our business partners is a creator. We consistently need to show up but then also speak and be a voice for other creators that are up and coming and those that don't understand.
I think it's so important. If I had to think a decade ago when I got into this space, and I'm a small creator when it comes to influencing online, but if I didn't have the knowledge that I have now, I don't know if I'd be able to survive in the way that the world is now, because it's so fast, it's so rapid. I was smiling when you were talking about ethics and morals and sort of partnering with brands, that it's meaningful to you and it matters, and you're not just the thing that people say now is you're not just taking the bag. You're not just taking the bag. Like, you're thinking about, that's a product that I care for, that's something that I believe in. I'm not just taking the money.
It's something that we don't speak about our work often. So a lot of people don't know that we work on some of their favorite brands, whether it be in the banking sector. We're pretty heavy in the banking and
finance, insurance.
One of our clients just got awarded the best automotive insurer by Forbes. The world, not Forbes Africa, Forbes. So, but again, we don't say these things. We let the client's work speak, and our work for the client, and that's the hero. So, especially from the creator side, and now they are rolling out with creators, which is fantastic for us. It's more jobs, more employment, stimulating the creative economy, and the cycle will continue. So we look to just build on that consistently. But I do think you mentioned the word small. You said you're a small creator. One thing we've been discussing a lot internally is quality over quantity. So going qualitative over quantitative. And what we're identifying now is that even small creators, whether you're a micro or a nano even, down to that extent of size, we're not looking at the size, we're rather judging your impact. So the brand value that you have, the credibility that you have, the morals that you then carry and have carried throughout, the consistency thereof. And brands are paying a lot more for that niche access as opposed to going quantitative. So we'll have a whole different strategy for your creators, and that's at scale. So your nanos, your micros, your mid-tiers, your macros, your megas, and then we're moving to your KOLs, your key opinion leaders. Then we're going to your tastemakers. All right, so it's a whole different ballgame.
And I'm sure the viewers and listeners are now getting excited again, because they're like, I've already got... So I understand that landscape. Owning a media company, which has got such a vast reach, is very different to the social media space. But if there was someone that was listening or watching now, and their aim is to not be in the back end, their aim is to be that front-facing content creator, what does that take? How do you become a creator?
Sure. I hope we're going to do this answer justice.
It's actually a question we get a lot, like in our emails, because we and it's something that we can't answer to one person. That's why we try and have the creator masterclasses or content on the Creator Club. I think that's what we found was the Creator Club for us is something where we can consistently educate on different topics that speaks to different levels of creator, whether you've been there or you've just started. But I think it's just being authentic. I think authenticity is something that speaks to us as an agency and as people, where you can see it come out in the content, and brands react really well to that. So you'll see the difference where it's not natural to you.
Yeah.
And that's where it can be learned, but at the same time, the authenticity, if you just be you.
Yeah, I think sitting in a lot of the brand deals and brand negotiations, one of the things that brands are pushing towards a lot now is, as Chae says, the authenticity, and then they're leaning quite heavily into the vulnerability.
Yeah.
So the combination of those two, you're not fronting to be someone, it's natural. So for example, the energy that you bring to the room, right? That's what they're going to go after, and that's an intangible. It's not a metric, it's what you bring as a human to the table. Whether it's your sense of humor, whether it's your wit, whether it's your quick responses, whether it's your quick one-liners, they're looking for those nuances to then build, make their own mixed masala or their own soup. And they're like, okay, cool, we're going to add a little bit of this, and we're going to add a little bit of this. And that's going to work for a period of time. And then they're going to want to maybe add something else. But adding something else doesn't take away from who you are.
Yeah.
You know, it's there to complement. So you constantly have to look how you're going to innovate. And I think the only thing in this industry that is consistent is change. So if you're fighting that,
well, that's life, right? So
right?
The only thing consistent is change, tax, and death. That's
Right.
it's consistent.
It's coming.
But it's coming. It's coming from somewhere. I want to shift focus, and I want to speak about something that perhaps some people are excited for, and others might be very fearful of.
Right.
And then there's that middle sort of section that just don't care. But AI, so that's real. Whether it is really artificial intelligence, we can't really say. It's the LLM model
Right.
or whatever the language models. How is that going to impact content creators now, right now, in the present, and going forward?
such a layered question.
It is. Yeah.
So many layers to it. I can give you the industry and the agency side of it, then I can give you the creator side. And
Give us both. Give us it all.
Let me start on the creator side. So on the creator side, what we are seeing a lot of now is actually using the tool to amplify your existing content. For example, you are shooting a campaign for a brand, should say this mic brand that's right in front of you now, but now you need to be on stage, and we don't have the stage with 5,000 people there. We're able to generate that moment to connect so that you could actually sell that scene and the utility of the mic. So again, there's a use case, that's utility, right? So we're seeing a lot of creators use it in that way. We're seeing a lot of brands loving the fact that they're leaning into that, because it brings down the production cost. So if they can save money on it while still having the production value, that's a win. What the brands are pushing away from is creators relying on the AI to generate the concept, to think for them. And I think dialing it back, for us, the big misalignment is if you're not going to be critically thinking to solve the problem or bring value.
And that goes directly to, even with brands, I've seen some contracts lately where 20% of your work shouldn't be, more than 20% shouldn't be AI. Or less than 20%. And that's mainly because they're seeing a lot of work, whether it's from agency or it's from anybody else, that it's AI, and a lot of the time people just go copy paste. And for us, it's really contextualizing what you've put there. AI is a good thing. It helps productivity and so many other things, but if you don't know what you're putting out, don't put it there.
So hashtag not a sponsored post. I'm not with them anymore. But at the end of 2023, before ChatGPT or AI or any of these things were even in our minds, it wasn't even a narrative. MTN hired me, and through augmented reality and using advanced technology before it had even been shown to the world, they created a version of me that would read the news to whoever was on the platform, whether it was English, Afrikaans, Zulu, and I spoke those languages. So I was there going, Sawubona, unjani. It was like really quite wild. The process was really laborious to shoot all of that. It was way before the technology that we have now. And if I look how far we've come in 2 years, I understand how powerful it is as a tool, that it can be used to create really good things.
Really. We've seen from a paid media side and from a content creation side as well, brands leaning towards avatars. So what they'll do is, as you say, they'll replicate you, they'll create a clone of you, probably use a platform like HeyGen.
I was the face of the MTN summer campaign, and I didn't leave my house. Like, I was all over everywhere, and it was just insane. It was
We've
crazy.
actually cloned half of the office already. So we have our digital clones. And but I mean, even looking at, we use it in a use case when we are traveling and we physically can't get the message out to a community, and we want to educate and give them a tip on this is how to use it. That can go in there. My voice is being cloned already on different software, and the team is ready. We've given obviously license, but to use it for the benefit of. So I think the intent's important.
Yeah.
As long as you're not trying to scam people. Use it
Absolutely. Well, I mean, that's a whole other
You're good.
story, right? That's that people are cloning other influencers or creators to try and use their content in a different way to sell other products.
Exactly. And obviously disclaiming. I think that's another important part.
Yeah.
Disclaim when you are using a certain tech to enhance, so that everybody's on the same page and we have transparency.
Transparency is important.
Yeah.
Looking towards the future for the next couple of months and years, any advice for, I mean, we can't go years because everything changes so rapidly, but advice for creators, maybe people that are in the field, trying to get into the field, that are there right now?
I think just looking forward, again, being authentic, keep looking into how AI can help you. Look at what's coming out, try and learn what it is and how you can apply it to yourself. I think it's very much like you said, you can't really say what is going to happen or do this or do that. But just try to stay current, read the news, watch the news. Good things, guy. There's a lot of good things coming out.
Thank you. Read good things, guy.
Yeah, right.
That's great advice.
For me, I think while everybody, and I'm saying generally the West and even the East, they're pushing technology, right? We are actually, from an agency standpoint, we are going nostalgic. So I think it's probably the first time we've said that from a strategic perspective. But we are going back to the origin of storytelling. And we are telling real stories with real people, connecting with real people. We still have post-creative strategies with creators to find out what are you struggling with? How's your family setup going? Because everybody's trying to speak, but nobody's listening.
Yeah.
So like that is a big problem that we're experiencing. And it's such a high pressure environment. These creators are putting out amazing content and they're trying to do their best. But are we listening to say, hey, this didn't work out? Hey, I would have preferred if you actually phoned me on my birthday. Or we're just missing the human element. And for us, like, we're just going to go back to that.
And we see it even just like even with working with in the business space. To get a business banker to come and see you, it doesn't happen. So those type of human touches, it's a trust thing, it's a connection thing, and you want to know people. So things like what Reece touched on now, it's really important to us as well, because when we work with people every day, hundreds of creators a month, and for us it's important to have somebody reach out and have those things. Like when we speak to a creator, we have 2 briefing calls and they get to understand what we're trying to do. So it's not just about give them the understanding and explain, because we all have our own context that we take things in. I might read something differently to you, and understand something completely different from that.
It's that human and that heart that landed you on the Forbes list. That's exactly what it is, and that's why you've built this business that you have. It's why it matters. It's why people want to continue working with you. It's why you got onto our radar, that I was like, I want to know more about this. And I think it's vitally important for anybody in the industry to have access to information that is going to enable them to do the best jobs that they can do without being stuffed over.
And it happens daily. It happens so often, where sometimes we see it happening in a campaign. We'll watch a piece of content and go, "Ooh, it happened once." Then there's another content, another piece of content, another piece of content, another piece of content, and you start going, I wonder what that deal looks like. And then down the line, you end up in a conversation with that creator and you go, it should have gone another way. So for us, it's really about making sure that we do our part in terms of impact, and making sure that the communities that we are fostering are being educated continuously. The same as we grow, we need to grow them. So that's what's the most important for us. If we aren't making an impact, then we shouldn't be doing what we're doing.
You are making an impact, and you can't see it because everybody in the room is around you and behind you, but everybody's nodding. They're all nodding as you're talking, and so I know that our viewers and our listeners will do the same. If anybody wants more information about Ace Labs, where do they find you? Obviously, Google can, but also give us those details.
TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn.
LinkedIn's going to be a good one for what we've been doing to see what we've been up to. We've been very quiet in the last couple months, and I think we're
rolling out tech soon.
we've got quite a bit of tech coming out.
What tech?
In marketing.
Can you tell us?
More tech, going different spaces. Fintech, there's some stuff that we're doing there, and integrating our partners. So again, when we work with a brand, we like to see how we can, whatever we're building, can integrate. And I think there's a lot of things happening, especially for Africa. So we partnered with some really cool companies to build some really cool things, and again, targeted to people. So
and a lot happening in the health and wellness space.
Yeah,
it's still very much on our radar. We invested into the Smile Bar, Tableware Mall, and Campus Bay, and then we're going more into wellness. So you'll see a lot more health and wellness, whether it be mental health, physical health, emotional health, and your all-round health and your well-being as a human being. That's what we are pushing.
I'm so excited to follow your journey, and I'm going to ask you if we can do a little catch-up. So next year, let's get together and sort of see where the world is, how we've shifted, what the changes are, what you've been up to,
and vice versa.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
A lot lately.
It's been so great having you on the show. It's been really cool. I love the energy. So if you want more information, go and find Ace Labs everywhere. On the TikTok, I call it the TikTok.
The
TikTok, Facebook. I'm going to tell you this, and this is my little tip of the day. LinkedIn is much bigger than what you think.
Yeah, 100%.
And I let it slide for a number of years. And now that I use it, it's vital. So you can find them there as well. As I always say and have to, otherwise my producers will shout at me afterwards and not let me eat the Nando's. You need to like, subscribe, do all those great things. Share if you enjoyed this, if you learned something. And we'll catch you next week, I hope, with more good things. Like I say every week. Okay, love you, bye.